Hello, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 18th of February 2024. So this is a very interesting and frankly disturbing post I came across on one of the Telegram groups I frequent, and this was actually put up by a lady called Karen Dodd, who, if you don't know, she's the organiser of these Uprise and Shine events that I go on about quite a lot and that I attend and film. There's about 4 of them last year, another one coming up in May this year, but she's the main organiser. But this is about a very unpleasant experience that happened to her. It looks like, well, first of all, she must own one of these fairly large vehicles, an SUV or whatever you want to call them. And she went into somewhere in South London, I think it was, and parked up and went away for a while. And then when she came back to her vehicle, she found all 4, I think, of her tyres were slashed. And but funnily enough, the people who did that left a note on her vehicle. And it's an organisation called the Tyre Extinguishers, and funnily enough they've got a website of the same name, which is a little bit bizarre, and it's again another disturbing thing which I'll come on to, but I'll just read out this note. This was left on Karen's windscreen. So here we go. Attention, your gas guzzler kills. We have deflated 1 or more of your tyres. You'll be angry, but don't take it personally. It's not you, it's your car. We did this because driving around urban areas in your massive vehicle has huge consequences for others. Car companies try and convince us that we need massive cars, but SUVs and 4x4s are a disaster for our climate. SUVs are the second largest cause of global rise in carbon dioxide emissions over the last decade, more than the entire aviation industry. The world is facing a climate emergency. According to the UN, millions of people are already dying from climate change related causes: drought, hurricanes, floods, forced migration, starvation. So far, the impacts on you have probably been minimal. We need emergency action to reduce emissions immediately. We're taking actions into our own hands because our governments and politicians will not. Even if you don't care about the impacts on people far away from you, there's also consequences for your neighbours. SUVs cause more air pollution than smaller cars. SUVs are more likely to kill people than normal cars in collisions. Psychological studies show SUV drivers are more likely to take risks on the road. SUVs are unnecessary and pure vanity. That's why we have taken this action. You will have no difficulty getting around without your gas guzzler with walking, cycling or public transit. Driving a hybrid or electric, these are still polluting, dangerous and cause congestion. And then it says see more on their website. So what do you make of that? This is a real event that's happened to one of us in the freedom movement. And I would suggest that the people behind this action probably are fairly young people, heavily indoctrinated into the whole net zero climate change agenda without really realising what's behind that, who's behind that, and certainly not realising that the people behind these agendas have not got the best interests of humanity at heart, including these people who have done this action. But moreover, I would say that this is an act of terrorism, really minor terrorism. These people have been radicalised. As I say, they're probably fairly young or young people being radicalised by the educational system that they've gone through, perhaps recently gone through, and they're sort of believing all of this stuff. And they're believing that they need to take these actions. And I said a minute ago that it's an act of minor terrorism, but how soon will it be until that escalates? You know, if they get more and more desperate, think they've got to get more and more desperate, it could escalate until it gets to the point that if you're a driver of one of those kind of vehicles, you might park it up, come back, and then when you get to your door and you're unlocking it, you find a couple of people jumping out and giving you a beating or worse, you know. So these things escalate, and it's a worrying development into how frankly these people have been radicalised. People go on about radicalisation in other areas, religion, etc., but well, I honestly think that the whole climate thing is a kind of religion as far as a lot of these people are concerned, and that they're starting to become radicalised and you know, starting to take these measures that they think are very necessary. And going back to the point of their website, well, what are the police doing? I mean, they must know, if I know, now you know, that this is happening and that these people are around. Surely the police know, and if these people have got a website, surely they can be tracked down fairly easily by the police. So why aren't the police taking action against these people? Probably because a lot of them believe in what they're doing, essentially, sort of believe in the same agenda, and therefore they're sort of just taking, you know, sitting back and not doing anything. So it's quite a worrying one, something we need to be aware of, and something that frankly should not be tolerated. Yeah, you know, if you sort of believe in this sort of thing and you want to educate people, you know, away from larger vehicles, by all means do so, but in a peaceful, non-violent way, and not in a way that is going to cause people sort of misery, you know, because you put yourself in Karen's position. How much does a tyre for one of those vehicles costs? You know, sort of £150 each, times 4, so quite a lot of hundreds of pounds there. And then the towing charge to the nearest tyre place to get the tyres sorted. Then you've got the inconvenience, but then you've got, you know, that would have affected Karen psychologically, I should think. It'll be an very unpleasant experience that she's going to probably not forget in a very long time indeed. So, you know, if you want to educate people into not using these sort of vehicles, do it, but not in this way. You know, it's totally wrong, but it's, like I say, I think it's radicalisation, and I think it's, again, as I say, an act of minor terrorism, but minor acts of this kind of thing often escalate, don't they? Anyway, just thought I'd run that one by you. Tell me in the comments section below what you think, and I'll be back soon. Tim from Fair Play Now, thanks for watching.